Diego si Mono, VP.
Naku, lakad matatag!
To take into account the interesting factor is there any
the deal. They're gonna be doing so much damage, and you want to have that burst just to finish off heroes. You know, the Dazzle, the Weaver are gonna be poking everyone, and then you want them to kill them. And Munkushi,
they caught the Weaver. That's a 10-second cooldown with the Dragon Tail coming in, and that's gonna be first blood going straight for Mind. It's good against the Weaver. Actually denies the entire wave there, Petushara.
top lane.
Oh, pretty dangerous trade here. The tower also hits the Marcy, so Dino Zavnik will get himself a trade-off. That being a 1-for-1. Slayers, Granny falling down as well, making it 1-for-1 from this lane. It's off during this series. But right now, it takes a bit of a beating again from the Tiny. Tiny making sure he keeps him low. Heavy trades coming in once again. Not quite enough for a kill, but the real action's actually happening in the top lane. Pasha
Needs a bit more time. I think playing. Oh,
it's going to be a pretty close one. The cookie is quite off the target, and are they just going to sack the Marcy? There's the heal bomb, but it's forcing out the jump in, and Pasha just needs a couple more hits, but the stick charge is going to be enough for the Faceless Void to live for this one, so that is a bit of a loss there for
that is true. The problem I see though for both teams is, you know, there could be some damage issues for both teams for Mind Games because of what you mentioned. But for Pari Parni, you know, if it is not easy for them to finish off targets, let's say if the Oracle isn't having a good time. I'm liking Immersion did point in Shadow Wave Enjoyer because Shadow Wave in my mind doesn't scale at all.
Right. I mean, it is kind of a lane basically setup ability in a sense with Poison Touch and Shadow Wave. But I really like the idea of how effective minus armor is early on, which is the reason why I wanted to see a Dazzleator this game. Let's see if we do get to see one. We got that one as the Chrono has been popped at the top lane. Immersion also already dies elsewhere, and Mind Games are just punishing them all around the map. That's going to be quick. 3 kills set for them. Roster, but don't believe the hype. Something that you might as well take into account. Bottom lane, Petushara does get initiated on. Quick jump in from the Marcy, and a potential kill coming through, and that does end up being one for Pari Parni. They cannot quite kill this DK damage, which we already talked about in the draft. And now we got a double smoke. Both of them smoking up at the same time. And Tiny's finished off an Echo Saber. Goes straight for the Marcy. Tossed into the air. And with the help of Slayer, that's going to be one Heaven Marcy down.
Once the Blink Daggers are out.
Hello.
Snakes, man.
Okay, you see them as snakes. Well, they are slivery. There we go with the Tiny initiation, but that's another DD. Tiny does get purged away by the Oracle. Mortimer's Kiss is flying as well, forcing out the Oracle. Marcy going in for the dive, though, but it's actually going to go down herself. Tiny still fighting against it with the Avalanche connecting up to 3, but the Cookie save comes out as well, and still taking down Bignum with the time lapse from Munkushi. The Chrono only lands onto the Dazzle, but that looks like that's going to be a very dead Dazzle. Immersion trying to pump up the heals as much as possible. We'll find some extras. Munkushi is here. Heaven in the tree. Slayer slowing up. They actually pop the smokes right now, and they put the sentry down as well. The coil initiated onto the Faceless Void, but Dino Zavnik just playing the bait in the lane, and they are only going to find the Marcy with this one for now. Bignum isn't quite there with Mortimer's Kisses. Those mortars do show some vision, but are they going to end up outplaying themselves? Pari Parni, they've had this Pasha Dazzle in this top lane for an eternity. Backing away, and again, it's going to be poor old Heaven. Death number 9. You are dead every 2 minutes. How does it... Harry, how does it feel to play a game where you're dead every 2 minutes?
I wouldn't know. I'm just so good at this game that it never happens. But look at now, Mind Games. They're always trying to fight on the side lanes. I like this because this is what their lineup is good at. Whenever you have these catch lineups, you want to fight on the side lanes. You don't want to fight in the mid.
DK is ready to just dive into the action. Dino Zavnik lands the Chrono, but it's not onto the Dazzle. And they target the Oracle, but the Grave's going to be there. Bignum already hunting for the Dazzle on the back line. 10 seconds for the Dragon Form to be up. He's going to get hexed up. They already finished off Immersion. We knew he was already dead with all the spells flying in. And that Grave running out. But that's not going to be big enough finding a kill until now. Does he have the backup, though? He's being hunted currently, but it's a great bait. And Munkushi's going to be there, but the Dispose comes out first. Tiny tossing it in with a Cookie on 2. Beautiful play with the Depressed Kid. Coming in with the coil. Will be able to take down Bignum. And surrounding them currently is 4 heroes from Pari Parni as Oracle buys back into this.
chance for
Wanted to
Pari
keep
now.
his Weaver alive, but the Timeless was there. Burn the Oracle ulti now. They're going to take down Slayer. Forcing out Einkrad as well on the run. Mukushi and Depressed Kid trying to do as much damage as possible. Now Dino Zavnik able to take that one, and Petushara is the one to clear it out with a double kill as those Maelstrom procs and the poison ticking in is enough, and he finds Mukushi in the tree line. That makes if targeted on the Weaver, that's one thing. Or just, you know, just cast it on one of your enemies and it's going to be out of play. Pasha. Oh, 1100 HP just ain't gonna do you any good, especially if there's a tiny. Add 2 more heroes on top of that. It's a very dead Pasha. Has been hunted down.
Yeah, something that he's gonna be gunning for.
They are pinging the top lane. The coil. Dispose will break it. There's again a DD rune on this goddamn tiny. He's hacking them down, already down to half HP. There's still the time lapse and the BKB on the Weaver. And there we go. The ulti burn. Oh no!
Where are the saves?
Oh no! What the hell was that? Done and dusted. There's an Aegis Void way too far into the lane, so we're gonna see both of the. Are they gonna return the tips? This is the big thing. Do they just let him be? It feels like they're gonna. Okay, they're just gonna let him be. If they had the opportunity to jump the faces, he's jumping in himself. He doesn't give a damn. And here comes Einkrad as well, backing up and takes down the Oracle. Burns down the ulti on the Dazzle. The Grave's going to be there as well, so you cannot get killed. Just going to drop down to 1 HP. Still taken out. And Marcy going to be going down next, so what a nice...
The thing is, when you've gotten to a point where you're mind games and the enemies can't fight you in the mid lane, something that they've been trying to do for the entirety of the game, it's a problem. Okay, that's a really deep dive.
That is a pretty deep dive, but it does feel like they're pretty comfortable with it, because here's why. The Chronosphere to the back line, immersion down, Mokushi's dead as well, Dazzle to follow. You might have an Aeon Disc, you might have a Grave for yourself, but you're only delaying the inevitable, son. It's all over for you. Pasha onto the cliff. Does get Dino Zavnik there momentarily, but he's got the shard. He's going to get his way out back to...
And you're pretty much at the time where the enemies are going to start rotating around the Roche Pit, and Oracle is just dead.
4 TP. Yeah, well, they found immersion. Everybody else got the TP back home, so at least that's just an Oracle. You know, just an Oracle. But, Big Num. Big Num with the big plays. Dino Zavnik with a really nice chrono. Has Marcy, has Weaver inside, but the BKB Mokushi able to turn this one around. And the damage just needs to kick in, but it's just a really desperate fight for Mokushi. Petucharos as well in the front. They did not have the Viper a moment ago, but there's the Orchid. Brave does come out, keep the puck alive. Marcy unleashing towards the front line. Wants something out of it. Slayer does get nuked out. Pari Parni able to get themselves 2 kills. Is this the power of the 3%? And is there still something coming out from Mind Games? Here comes Einkrad. Oh, look at that. Tiny just hacking them. But the Hex is there. The buyback from the DK is coming up. The Dazzle does get silenced. The Depressed Kid on the other side of the high ground. But look at Petushara. Look at this Viper. They're all corroding. They've got venom. They've got poison flowing inside their veins. They're getting burnt and molten. And that is going to be for
Pari Parni getting destroyed. I think you chase towards the bottom lane, you do not chase towards the mid, but it's easier to say it later. Yeah,
GG. That is basically Mind Games securing a time to breathe for a moment, because we don't know what's going to be happening later on today. But with that one victory, Pari Parni needs to score a victory later on today, because we've got 2 teams dropping out, and if you have a 1-0 score, you are...
Right.